Hi everybody, Bryce here. I'm going to show you how to take your video and turn it into data that you would need for lab number 4 in the option physics. So here I've got my video pulled up and I'm on a Windows computer so I can pull up QuickTime. If you're using a video of an iPhone, you may need to play with it a little bit differently. There's a couple ways that you can make this happen, and I can help you get access to a Windows computer if you need it. So anyways, I've got the video pulled up here. And I've got a spreadsheet over here it's pretty empty. There's nothing really going on. But I've got a frame and a frame number and position and a position location. So I'm going to track those two things as I watch this video really slowly. Like right now, I've got the back of the car. It's hard to see a little bit, but the back of the car is lined up with this line right here. And I'm going to see and that happens at frame 120. I'm going to click on this thing and then move it forward a little bit until I can see the back of the car over the next spot. And so you can see that I took 10 frames. I'm at frame 130 and I'm at tile 1. So I'm one tile from my starting point. Now, there's a few things that I'll need to know, but let me get a few data points in before we talk about some of the other stuff. So that's one tile. Here's to get to 2, looks like maybe I'm at that one. So 139 puts me at position 2. Now if I keep going, that looks like 148. 148 is at tile 3. And then if I keep on going, whoops, wrong way. Keep going forward. Now I'm at 156 is tile 4, and a few more of these, and I'll be. Oh, okay. Hey everybody, Rice here. I'm going to show you how to make the graph for your from the video of your car running. And so to do this, you're going to need to have a Google Sheet open so that you can write some things into a table. And we're going to do some converting over here too. And then you need to have this piece, which is my video of the car. Now, I have a Windows computer, so I downloaded the video, and I'm looking at it in QuickTime. But there's a number of ways you could do this. The only real key pieces are that you need to know what frame number or how much time has passed in the video. And then you need to know to be able to see the video pretty clearly. Now, I ran this car by myself, so I'm not starting from a starting line. I'm just going to start right here. At this point will be my 0 mark. And so you can see I put down that that's my position 0. 0 tiles have been traveled. And that's going to be happening at frame 120. Now, as I build out my data, all I'm going to do is come to this video and step it forward until my car is at the next tile. So here it's moved 1 tile position. And when I'm at 1 tile position, I'm at frame 130. Next up, I come back over here, and you can see this is going to take a little bit of effort. You're going to have to step through these things a little slowly. But as you do, you're going to move your way through everything that you need to do to get to graph out your motion. So here I'm at 148, and this is at tile 3. You can see this builds pretty quickly. You just need to be deliberate about how you do it. I love doing it with this frame-by-frame style. Lets me have nice control over what's going on. I can keep track of things pretty easily. And so here, you can see it's just moving through. So now I'm at, whoops. Okay. So anyways, more control there. I'm going to come back to this. And since I just lost it, I'm at 188 and I have no idea what tile I'm at. I would need to jump backwards until I hit the 150s again. So that's going to work over there. Now there's a few things that I need to do to make this work. For example, instead of frames, I really want to have time. So I'm going to make a time column here. And if I do time, I need to think about how much time this works. And so each one of my frames, I was filming at 30 frames a second. So the normal frame rate is 30 frames a second. So I'm going to say that my time is equal to some amount of that. So I'm going to say it's equal to this amount. So I typed equals and then use the arrow key to select this cell. And then I'm going to say it's that minus 120. So that minus 120 is going to give me 0. If I hit enter, it just says 0 there. But what I'll want to do is say that this, put in parentheses, so I'm using PEMDAS correctly, is equal to 1 divided by 30th, or 1 divided by 30 for 1/30th of a second, which is still 0. Seems silly to put there. But as I build it this way, you can see it's starting to build out the time. And I can do this to give myself a reasonable amount of decimal places. So you can see that this position 1, it really took 1/3 of a second to get there. For position 2, it took 2/3. For position 3, almost a second. For position 4 is over a second. So you can see how much time has passed since I was in those places. So this is interesting. I get to know the time, and I should label it. This is going to be in seconds. And if you would build out a whole table, it would be correct for all of them. So now I'm good there. The next thing that I want to know is my position, and I want to know this in meters. So my position in meters is going to be a little tricky. This is really my position in inches, and I know those are 12-inch tiles, so I'll say that that's times 12. And so that tells me that I'm at 0, but if I populate this down, that here I'm 48 inches from where I started. So that I'm 4 feet away from where I began. And what I really want to know is how many, I need to do another conversion here. So I'm going to take the distance that I have traveled in inches, and I want to know how many meters are there in an inch so that I can multiply it by something. So let's go with, it's going to be small. So I'm going to do a small placeholder here for just a second, and then we're going to look it up. So inches to meters. We look this up, and 1 inch is this many meters, which I guess I should have known. It's 2.54 inches per meter. So we do this, and now we've got, it's still 0 there, but if I populate this down, you can see how far it's gone. So this is my distance, my position in meters of what's happening. Now this is my table of data for position and time. But if I take this, highlight these two, I can say insert, and I want to insert a chart because I'd really like a position time graph for my particular car. And Google Sheets tries to guess what kind of chart you want. It guessed column chart, and that is adorable. But in science, we always pretty much want a scatter chart. Scatter charts are going to be really useful for us. You can click on these and then play around with the data. Now, there's a few things that are worth looking at, and if I say I want to use row 1 as headers, I can get a bit more info here, and now you can see that my x-axis is my time. That's good, that's what I want, and my series, or my y-axis, is my position. So this is a position time graph as it works. If I needed to change these, I could click and hit edit and do some things there, and if you run into technical problems, let me know. But there's some other things that I could do, like I can change the horizontal axis. If I go and, let's see, we can set minimum maximums, we can do labeling, we can do lots of things. I think I want, it's not the axis itself, I want these titles. So when I do titles, I can say the chart title might be mousetrap, car, position, time. And that would work. If I go to the horizontal axis title, I could say that that's the time in seconds. And if I do my vertical axis title, this would be the car's position in meters. So, oops, I need to make sure that I get it right. Position in meters, so that it's clear. And this is a nice graph that shows my position time. If I wanted to, there's a few things that you can change, play around with. You can customize what this looks like. You can add in trend lines. One of the things that you can do, scatter chart, sometimes has a line. A line might not be a bad choice, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it scatter. And I can sort of imply where the line would be as we move along. But that is how you make a quick position time graph from your video data. You need to be able to see your video. So here's my video. I need a way to track the time in the video and the positions in the video. Type that in for frame and position, then do some converting. And then once I've got converted values, I can build a graph from there. And if you do that, if you get that all done, you have a nice graph at the end that you can submit. That's all you need to do for lab number 4 in Unit 1. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Bye.